Welcome back to Momentous Struggle, a Star Wars Shatterpoint podcast. On this week's episode, we have a special guest. His name is Mountain Mike, and he's going to join us. I'll probably talk a little bit about Ministravaganza since that was just yesterday, based off of when we're recording, and just time to talk about like all the wonderful things that happen up in Colorado, because I wanted to start bringing in other TOs and other community organizers to kind of like put a light on their particular community and everything along those lines. So before we jump into anything, I want Mike to introduce himself. Mike, it's awesome to have you on. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, like your history with the game or history with gaming, and why everybody like me loves you so much.
Oh, man. Well, hello. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I am most excited just to actually have like an hour to talk to you guys because I love you guys so much. You're awesome. I am Mountain Mike from Denver, so put them together. Makes sense. I am. I've been with Shatterpoint since pretty early. There was like a holiday sale, Black Friday sale or something the year it came out. So I started like in November of 23, whenever that was. And jumped in. I actually bought an MCP box and a Shatterpoint box. And I asked my kids, I was like, which one should we build? What should we look at? And they were like, let's build MCP. I was like, okay, cool. And then I built Shatterpoint instead. So,
okay, then.
Well, I knew they weren't going to play with me too much. They were more interested in the models. But that's fine, because I like the rules better. So, so I've been in the Shatterpoint game since fairly early on, right around, like, right after Mother Talzin came out, I feel. Prior to that, my wargaming history is fun. I actually started fairly late in life. I, did some battle tech and stuff like when I was a real kid and real crunchy stuff, but really didn't do too much since then until much later in life. And then I got into War Machine, and I had some friends who played that, so I played War Machine pretty exclusively for a while, for a number of years, back in the early Mark II days, for people who know. And then from there, I ended up dabbling, dabbled in Malifaux, dabbled in Guild Ball, dabbled in, probably some others. Sitting down in my
all the
basement.
non-GW big hitter type of ones, yeah.
I've never, ever wanted to play Warhammer. Just never have. I don't know why. I love the models. I do. The models are cool. They'd be fun to build and paint, I feel, but I don't know. Maybe it just has a reputation. There's a reason why I love Shatterpoint, and we'll talk about this a little later, but it begins with a C and ends with immunity. So I love community more than anything, and Warhammer doesn't feel like it has that community as much as Shatterpoint. Shatterpoint's the best. War Machine had it to a degree as well, but yeah, so that's me in a nutshell. Yeah, nice. In a nutshell.
Oh no, nutshell. Yes. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of got started a little late in the game as well. Like, I didn't really get into it until after I got out of the military. Like, I was mostly a card game and D&D type of guy. So I'm right there with you. And Aubrey, this is his first game. He didn't even know how to put miniatures together until he started playing this one.
That's amazing.
I am still never going to forgive you for when I opened up my core set and I was like, what is all of this stuff in here? Because I had played plenty of board games, and you get miniatures in the board games, and they're in like those like plastic container things. I expected to open it up and there was going to be like a guy in there, not
like Descent or something, and it comes with models made.
Yeah, instead I opened it up and it was like a massacre had happened. There were body parts everywhere.
So yeah,
mini massacre.
It's like somebody killed my models.
Who did this?
But yeah, so I mean that's awesome. I'm glad that you found our community at least, because we're really happy to have you. You're definitely a key part of like a lot of the conversations I think that happen and everything along those lines, like behind the scenes, like in different Discords and stuff. And I mean, just hanging out with you at LVO and Adepticon, you're just a great dude. So it's like I'm glad that you are part of our community.
Yeah, I mean, you guys similarly, we'll gush on each other for a moment, but similarly, like, so LVO 1, I suppose, back in January was actually the first true real gaming convention I'd gone to. I'd been to others, but more just to, like, walk around and see board games. I wasn't there to play anything. And met you guys right away, and I think it was night one. I was like, hey, are you guys going to go get dinner? Because I was solo in Vegas.
Yep.
I just flew out there on my own, just to be like, screw it, let's see what this is like. And from there, it's just been super awesome to get to know you guys, and then get to know the broader community as well. It's turned into a bit of an addiction, I feel. But I'm like
Yep.
4 conventions later in 1 year. Oh no, what did I do?
Yep. That's fantastic, though. Yeah, Shatterpoint's a hell of a drug. That's what I heard.
It is. It is. It is. Yeah, I think Aubrey, you're gonna be. I don't know. You're ruined for every other game. Unfortunately, if you started with Shatterpoint, good luck.
Right.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. All I have to say is remember, I have a ton of experience with Magic the Gathering, and
Oh, fair.
all I have to say is being in the AMG hall is a breath of literal fresh air in comparison to some of the experiences that I have had in the Magic community. Like, I think part of it, for what it's worth, I think the problem is that once a community gets so massive, like you think Games Workshop or you think Wizards of the Coast, it's really just there are probably small, like, microcosms in there that are phenomenal, that are fantastic, that are great. But once you get too big, you kind of get the social media problem of anonymity. Like, you can afford, quote unquote, socially to be a bit of a jerk because there's 1,000 other people in the room, and you're less likely to run into this person again. Whereas these smaller communities are more tight knit, and hey, we're gonna call you out if you start behaving that way. Like, of course, it would be nice if everyone was just nice and friendly all of the time. Wouldn't that be great? But we get competitive and people get a little grumpy. Hey, I've been there. I've had it out with a store owner or a TO because I thought they were, treating people badly, but from the outside looking in, it probably looked like I was yelling at yelling at somebody for no reason.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well, let's kind of transition over. I mean, to like a primer topic, I guess, since Ministrav kind of happened. I don't want to go too deep into it. I mean, there was only, I think the whole total Shatterpoint part of it was only like about 20 minutes, I think. So they didn't have a whole lot
they did
there.
Intro too, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so there was not a whole lot of there. I mean, they gave us a little bit. I think I was talking with Aubrey kind of beforehand on, or like right when it was happening, and I think it's like kind of like the recovery from the Legion relaunch. It felt like, I watched the MCP one afterwards, and there was a lot that happened there. So I think it's kind of just like they're rotating through the games. MCP needed a lot of love, so I can kind of understand why they probably put a little bit more effort into there after the Legion relaunch. And I don't think we're in a bad place. I know there's some people in the community that are like, oh, we need to fix boss, we need to fix Cassian, and there's on the high competitive side, there's probably a little bit of merit there. I'm not going to say that there isn't, but overall, I mean, I think that there's enough there to where we can probably, and I think there's going to be more than just this coming in the future. I think Adepticon will probably give us a lot more. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But I mean, as far as like this. As far as like, let's start with the characters revealed. Is there one that kind of stands out to you, Mike, as far as like the characters revealed that you thought was like, okay, this is interesting. I'm really excited to kind of see how this happens, or what happens with this one?
I mean, I'd be remiss to say, like, the Qui-Gon one, obviously, I think people are definitely interested in Qui-Gon. He's one of the sort of lesser characters that I care about, but I just know generally, like, the community has been really excited about him. Find it interesting, it looks like we're going to get a second OB2, a secondary, so that'll be fun, unless they decide to make him a support, but that'd be weird. I think Phasma is going to be interesting as well. That's going to be an interesting box. Is it going to be like super tag restricted, or will they just be stormtroopers, right? Is it going to be like first order stormtroopers tag, and then you can't work with anything else, or will it actually be broaderly applicable? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, those two. I love the Chewie sculpt. That thing looks amazing. It just like looks like Chewie. The other ones did, but they kind of look generic Wookiee. That one looks like Chewie to me.
Yeah, with his, especially with his bowcaster and everything,
Yeah.
I do like that
The
sculpt.
silhouette. Yeah.
Exactly. I do like that they have the alternate. You can for Finn, you can have the blaster or the lightsaber. So that's pretty cool that you have two options with him as far as like which weapon he is carrying and everything along those lines. I don't know. How about you, Aubrey? Is there some? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, which means that his melee attack will probably be a lightsaber attack, which is fun.
That is awesome.
Early crits, maybe. We'll see.
Hopefully. What do you think, Aubrey? What stood out to you? I know Qui-Gon's probably the big one for you as well.
I'm just so happy because I can finally pair somebody with the Padme box, and it's not gonna feel out of place. I know I'm flavor lore first, but it just like I would have killed I would have killed for a Senator Padme box just because I think it would be an interesting design space. I understand why they picked the Padme they did, because like everyone gets tired of painting black, brown, and white, and she is a very easy way to add some wonderful color to the game. But I'm just like, as soon as this box comes out, I'm gonna go back to Galactic Republic. I don't even care if the pairing of Qui-Gon and Padme is like the most competitive thing ever. The first thing I'm gonna do when that box comes out is put Padme box, Qui-Gon box on the table. We're gonna have fun. Like this game is supposed to be about fun, and I cannot wait because I'm hoping there's some like Naboo kind of synergy, like because you could even give like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, because again, this is a snapshot in time. You could give them the Naboo tag, and then maybe there's something that's like Naboo Galactic Republic themed. I don't know. I'm not a game designer. All I'm saying is I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I don't see that, but as far as the soldiers and Tanaka, those two will probably definitely have the Naboo tag. So I mean, I'm assuming Tanaka is going to be, or Panaka, not Tanaka. Panaka is going to be what do you call it? He's going to be they have those tags. I mean, they've already said they're the Naboo Royal Guard. So, I mean, you could easily, or I think he's going to be a secondary. So I have a feeling that you're going to have the ability to really kind of make a very Naboo centric squad with the Spox and the Padme box for sure.
Definitely, that is going to be really cool. And I love the again, going back to the models. I love the Qui-Gon. Like it's so. It's full of action. It's full of energy. I don't know. The model looks really cool, and it'll be fun to paint that one for sure.
Yeah, kind of him rushing forward. It looks like he's getting ready to go, like rush into the fight, which is really kind of very
stage
cool
Maul right next to him, and just have a little like build your diorama, right?
Yep. Will be very cool. I mean, I'm also excited about the sequels, the sequel trilogy ones. I mean, there's going to be, we got 4 full boxes coming. We didn't get to see the Kylo box. We didn't get to see any of the sculpts for the Poe Dameron box either, though. So it'll be interesting to see like kind of what comes with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have BB as a separate model. That would have been fun to have him just like rolling around everywhere. It looks like he's part of the.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm like, is there a way to sit there and not attach him to Rey and put him with Poe?
It's gotta be. There's gotta be.
I mean, it's like I get why they put it there, but it's like, man, I think I'd rather put BB-8 with Poe. I don't know, but that's just me. Okay, so before we go, I like looking at the actual cards that were spoiled for the characters. I mean, how about that? Is there one that kind of stood out to you, Mike? That like is like the most interesting of them that you're kind of looking forward to?
They honestly all look interesting to me. I mean, obviously those night troopers just being able to just resurrect themselves, basically. That is a cool mechanic that'll be very interesting to see. Obviously, Morgan with Mom. I'm like you, Todd. Bring me all the Dathomirians, right?
Yes.
Like I have just been. My hope, honestly, was that the Night Troopers would somehow, some way, have a Dathomirian tag, so we could finally, after 2 years, build a full Dathomirian squad. I mean, that would be amazing.
Right.
Strike team or whatever they call it. So that I think the animated Beyond Death, super cool mechanic. I love that Morgan has this ability to take wounds instead of or take damage instead of spending force. That's super thematic and cool. So yes, I'm very excited about the Morgan box. Although I think the Balin one I still have to digest a little bit and understand everything. But that looks pretty amazing in and of itself too. Again, awesome models. I mean, really, like those are so cool.
Yeah, the Night Troopers sculpts like they look like they really captured zombie and stormtrooper at the same time, which is really kind of cool. Oh no, Aubrey,
Yeah,
what about you? Oh, good.
With that gentle green glow on their lower side, stuff like really sweet.
Yes. What about you, Aubrey? Was there one that jumped out to you?
So I this might just be a magic thing, but anytime I see cost reduction stuff, I get itchy, sometimes in a good way and sometimes in an uh-oh way, depending on how they do it. Like I'm still really excited to try and crack Jin because I feel like there's something there, something dumb you can do. Not that she hasn't already been doing well, but I feel like there's even more. And Shin's whole, like, if you would spend force, you can instead spend hunkers to reduce the cost. And when you combine that with Balin's, like, one, you don't lose hunkers, but then, like, I don't think anybody has even talked about this in the Discord yet. Did you see the part where it's like, what is it? Every allied unit gets a hunker each. That says each allied unit gets a hunker after setup and each time an opposing player claims a struggle card. Like you're just gonna be spitting out hunkers all over the place, and then Shin's gonna be able to use her abilities essentially for free. Like because you can even attack. You can attack. Get the what is it? There's an attack buff that Balin gives. He gives like extra expertise when you have a hunker.
During his
So like you
modified
can
step.
attack with her, then spend the hunker to use her abilities. And no, I was already excited just because these are great characters, but the synergies, I can't wait. I'm ready. I need to know what else is happening there.
And he's even more
Scoundrel.
excited. Yes, I was about to say he's even more excited because he doesn't have to play Empire. he can play Scoundrels and Mercenaries instead.
Yeah, scoundrel all the way.
I mean, it'll be it'll be interesting to see like a pairing with like the Balin box and maybe like some of the like Mando, because Mando and all like the scoundrel mercenary stuff that he gets to do. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of exploration with Balin. I think that's kind of I'm in the same boat. I love Dathomirians. I was a little disappointed that there's not as much. I was hoping like maybe like Enoch would have like some sort of synergy with Night Sisters.
Yeah.
That way to kind of tie it all together. So like there was a slight disappointment there, but overall, I'm very, very happy with both of the boxes that they had given to us. So or that they had spoiled the cards on. All right, so last thing, because I know for you, Mike, you're probably not big into like the galactic legendary encounter things, are you?
I haven't tried them. I won't lie. I definitely have a high interest in giving them a go because they seem thematic. They seem cool. I just have not been able to put them on the table yet, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm like, I want to explore those a little bit more. So like, I think that's kind of like, there's not a lot to talk about with what they've done until I have a chance to like kind of explore and maybe do the same, put some stuff on the table. So I did want to talk though a little bit about the mission pack, because this one looks interesting, and we were kind of talking that before we jumped on. I mean, what are your first initial thoughts on just kind of like what we were able to see on that?
crazy layout, at least. Sort of a very asynchronous, very weighted type of layout where each side kind of gets a little flush with objectives. Obviously, going back to dice rolling. Sorry, Aubrey. Have to start rolling priority dice again. I know we had the one reprieve.
But it wasn't a reprieve, because now you have to flip over all the objectives over and over and over. Like, I would have just taken priority roll. I'm sorry. At this point,
Yeah.
I would have just conceded and been like, no, just please give me priority roll.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend
sabotage.
5 minutes resetting the board per game.
So a very interesting layout. I do like that there's going to be 2 priority objectives now, right? So that makes things interesting, because does that speed up the game at all, right? You start being able to potentially score more. I assume priorities, you're still scoring. Oh, you're actually, sorry, you're actually moving the momentum token closer towards you if you control both active objectives. So very interesting. Yeah, very interesting layout. I would love to get it on the table and let's see how it plays. I'm glad they kind of spoiled all of it for us. So, maybe not. It was probably missing a bunch of cards, but
I mean, you can play through the 3 missions that they have provided.
Yeah.
That so you have 1, 2, and 3 to kind of like really give it a go at least and see what it's like. So, I mean, I think that kind of will weigh things differently, because it's like, oh, I know which ones are going to turn on going to the next struggle because you only have these 3 cards. But hey, I mean, it's worth giving it a shot to kind of test it out and see how it feels and everything along those lines.
Yeah, I like the layout because it's a little further forward, but not as far forward as, say, something like Never Tell. So I'm very curious to see how easy it is to get to some of these objectives, and I don't know. I'm excited about this, but wait, we have to go back. I'm making us go back. That not only did they do Galactic Legends, they gave us a campaign mode, and one of the things I loved seeing at LVO was the I don't remember. It was one of the Games Workshop games. I don't know, but there was a bunch of people running around all dressed up like pirates because they were doing like a whole narrative campaign throughout the whole weekend. And I'm not saying that's something we do at LVO, because I think Shatterpoint is more competitively focused. But I want to dig into the key operations some more and these Galactic Legends and try and make like some sort of ongoing thing. So I'm excited. Will it work? I don't know. I haven't had a lot of time to mess with the key operations since they came out.
I think that's been out. I think the campaign rules have been out for a little while for key operations. It just hasn't, we haven't had probably a chance to dive into that one too much either, especially like with LVO moving for us and everything along those lines. We just haven't had a chance to it. Those are definitely between the Galactic Encounters or Legendary Encounters, whatever they're calling them, because it seems like there's 2 different names, and the key operations. I do definitely want to dive into both of those and kind of give them a good run and some time to them. So, but yeah, definitely cool. All right, so that out of the way, let's get to the most important topic. And Mike, I reached out to you because like I said before, I think it was like a week ago, and I was talking with a couple different people throughout the country at LVO about how I really wanted to start putting a little bit of a spotlight at least on some of the other communities outside. I mean, because like it's easy for me to talk about what I do, and same with like other content creators. We can talk about what we're doing in our stores, but it's like I'd really like to give you an opportunity to sit there and talk about Colorado, Denver, and what you're doing out there with Shatterpoint, and as well as if there's a big event that maybe is coming up sometime in the in 2026. If we should be what we should be on the lookout for if we want to travel to your area and maybe play in a tournament in your area.
Yeah, well, thanks for the opportunity for that, because we have some great players and a great community here in Colorado. You bring up an excellent point where there's a lot of communities out there, right, that might not have the player base of an Arizona or or Utah, something like that, right? Where we know there's a very large group of players there. We actually have a pretty good community here. It's a little spread out because we have people kind of all over the place. But that being said, when we put events together, so my May 4th event last year, we had I think 22 signed up. And I think we ended up with 19 total because you kind of tend to lose a few people day of. But that was an amazing event. That was the first event I ever ran. In fact, I reached out to both of you guys to get some advice and, hey, how do I do this without looking like a total newbie? And, it went off really, really well. I actually went and brought back, I bought one of the I Am No Jedi boxes from Adepticon and brought it back specifically so I could raffle it off in that event. It worked out really well. I was able to run another event over the summer. And we have events on a very regular basis out here, every month or two, really, whether it's a league or an event. We have a couple of fairly large stores that support Shatterpoint really well. On the north side of the city, we have Total Escape Games. We have Mythic Games on the west side of the city, who's a really strong supporter of Shatterpoint and Legion both. We have a dedicated Star Wars day on Sundays. That's normally our days there. We have Collector Mania on the southeastern side of the city. So kind of sounds similar to your Phoenix area where you have stores sort of all around the city and you can kind of choose where you want to go. We're set up like that as well. But yeah, great community, really fun players, really just good people, and some really top-notch players out here too. Definitely not me, but definitely some other ones out here who are who give me a run for my money every single time. Yeah.
Nice. So when you're looking at the greater community, I mean, as far as do you have any major events that happen out there throughout the year? Is there a major convention that kind of is the pinnacle of what you guys do?
Yeah, sort of. So we have two major conventions really that roll through. The first one is through FLG. It's the Rocky Mountain Open. So this year, Rocky Mountain Open was 2 weeks before Adepticon. It was kind of wild. I did go to that one, and that was a good prep for Adepticon for me, at least. So that was nice. But the timing made it a little bit tricky in 2025. So what they've just announced fairly recently, I think in the last week or two, is they're moving Rocky Mountain Open to be May 2nd and 3rd. Guess what comes the day after May 3rd, everyone?
Oh, so a nice little May the 4th going on there. 4th. I like it. Yeah.
So we we are in discussions right now with FLG to try to get a Denver GT. I've been really wanting to get that going. Been pushing for something out here. We're just such a nice central location in the country. Central kind of in quotation marks, but at least central west. And it's so easy to get in and out of Denver. In fact, I just realized, I looked at it this morning, I just realized they are doing it at the Marriott in the Denver Tech Center, which is on the south side of the city, which is probably 5-10 minutes from where I live. So super excited about that too. I'm going to have an easy commute next year. but
that's
awesome. I know FLG is applying. And again, we have just such a great community. We're normally filling our tournaments up with double-digit people on a regular basis. So it's nice. In fact, we had for the May 4th event last year, and then for the other event I ran it, and actually I know a few others, we had people driving from 2, 3, 4 hours away just to come because they love Shatterpoint, they love the community, and it's just a way to bring everybody together. So super great to see. And so that's the first major event that we have. We also have another one called Tacticon, which is I want to say it's in August. For some reason, that weekend always is tough for me. I feel like summers in general can be a little tough out here, at least because we're a little busier. We know summers are your winter, basically, because everyone's like, I need to be inside. Whereas out here, everyone's like, I need to be outside. So it can be a little bit more challenging in the summer. But now that it's cooling off. People are starting to come out of the woodworks again.
Makes sense. Yeah, well, like that's really awesome. It's like as soon as you started talking about your May the 4th in Denver, I'm like, oh, could I make a trip up there? Because that would be a really cool thing to do. Like a frontline gaming event, and I mean, hopefully a GT, because I know the applications are open. So like if they could have a May the 4th GT at a large event like Frontline Gaming that they put together, that would be fantastic. So fingers crossed that happens for sure. Like I would
definitely, that will be a big thing. Like I know I definitely want to put all my energy towards that, because again, just putting it all together, like May the 4th, my hometown, like easy to fly into and out of. Like, let's go, let's make this happen. Come on.
Right. Well, I will say this: like, if anything happens, like no matter what, you're going to have that. So if you need any help from anything, like by all means, like I know Aubrey and I are always willing to sit there and provide help in whatever way we can. So definitely feel free to reach out for us for that. So we could definitely help you thrive in any way that we can.
Oh, appreciate that. Yeah, we have some great TOs here. Oh, sorry. You're needing to ask a question here. I was just going to say we have a crew of great TOs. There's like 3 or 4 of us who kind of rotate around. Unfortunately, there's been a sort of a perfect storm where we've all been super busy the past couple of months. So we're all, I think, as I said, kind of coming out of hibernation and starting to push ahead. But weddings and buying new houses and kids and all that has just really taken over people's lives a little bit. Sorry, ask your question for Aubrey.
Well, no, I can understand that. I mean, especially like my life has been a little crazy over the last couple of month or so, and I mean, sometimes life just kind of gets in the way of having all your fun, which is No, I was gonna say, I mean, Aubrey, do you have any like questions about like the greater Denver Shatterpoint community? We've kind of been occupying the conversation here.
Nah, it's fine. I'm mostly just excited because I would love to see a giant May the 4th event, because I know locally Jared and I have been trying to figure out, he wants to create another event kind of at the level of like Smite Club and Scorched Earth. Not even at that level, because I think it's mainly just Shatterpoint and maybe Legion. I don't know if he's even thought about Legion, but like a smaller version of that. So doing something on May the 4th. I know we've been throwing around 4 or 5 different dates, and because May the 4th falls on a Monday this year, it's close enough that you can do something. Like I usually do something at my library, but it's a library. I can always move it around a little bit to make it work for people. I guess my question is I know you say like 2, 3, 4 hours is a long drive. I don't know. When I played Magic, it was a minimum of an hour, like for me to just go to F&M, like just to go to like the casual 3-round event. Like I lived in the middle of nowhere in Fernley, Nevada, so I would always have to drive. So for me, I'm like 2, 3, 4 hours for a really cool fun event. Like we would do that, like going to, because a lot of the Magic events, they would always be in California. They would never be in Nevada until I moved away from Nevada. Then suddenly Reno was getting a event. Well, I mean Vegas gets events, but I'm talking about the rest of Nevada, everyone. And so I guess my question is like, so your scene, your community, it sounds like you have a good core group. Have you been doing anything like community building wise, like any like learn to play or like more casual style? I know we're talking about the big flashy stuff, but you must have other stuff going on. What else is going on?
Yeah, I mean, just even in the last 2 months, we've had 4 new players join into the community. Yeah, I know, like big fist pump for that. I think one of the things that I really talk about quite a bit, and I know you guys have said the same thing, but I talk to our new players about coming to tournaments, like as a way to learn the game. It's actually, for me, and I've seen it with other people, it's one of the best ways to learn the game, because you're playing oftentimes with somebody who might have more experience. And while it's a tournament, we all are there to pew pew and like, let's get little miniatures going. And, I'm always like, okay, Anakin moves and he grabs this railing and does a backflip and he lands on his feet and then he takes this ingress back up and look at that, like that's fun to me. And so I find that going to tournaments can be a casual experience in a certain way, right? Because just obviously don't go in with your expectations of I'm going to wipe everybody's face. That's a weird way to say that. I feel
I'm gonna wipe your face.
No, don't say it like that, Todd.
Whoa.
Different podcast. Different podcast.
Different podcast. I love that.
This isn't the Patreon episode.
That's the second hour. The ASDM of Todd just...
Hello.
Oh, wait. I've been wanting to do this because I have a mustache right now. I'm going to do my Barry White voice. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I don't know. So long. Figured it was the appropriate time. I practiced that in the shower earlier. I was like, I got to do something.
Dear listeners, for those of you...
Well worth it.
For those of you not on the YouTube, they've been fondling each other through the camera. Don't worry about
it. Actually, we're fondling you, Aubrey. You just don't know it yet. Okay. We got to do like between two sprues how they make all the cuts.
Right.
Cut snippets out of everybody and just put this collage at the beginning of their... It's brilliant. So, learn to plays, yes, we are very much in the mode of like teaching new people. In fact, actually, a lot of my games this year, I have also been under the gun, unfortunately, for... not unfortunately, but work's been really tough for about 6 months, 9 months, maybe 12. Just keeps going. But I also recently got engaged, and so I've got wedding planning, and yay!
Ooh, congrats!
Love you, baby, even though you're definitely not listening. There's it's been a little tough, but what I mean is a lot of my games have actually been more on the casual level and just going like, hey, are you sure you want to, like, you're gonna leave Grief Karga in the middle of nowhere at the end of this activation, or like, do you maybe want to be on the point, right? And just kind of coaching people through games more than that. But the intent is to have a learn to play. In fact, Legion's been doing a lot of learn to plays recently, and it's kind of motivated me to do maybe a series as well and get some learn to play events going, and really just try to bolster our younger community and try to bring in new blood. But we're sort of naturally finding that anyway, so it is fun, right? We do have, again, about 4 new people. We had probably 4 new people over the summer as well, so it's just constantly new bloods coming in, and we're growing in a way, and this is something I kind of wanted to tie in a little bit as a sort of a separate topic. But I know there's a lot of feelings about Ministrav, right? And there's a lot of maybe we wish there was a little more and things like that. But I think what it does showcase is there is a certain point in time when a game is, it's pretty much right away, but when the game needs to be upheld by the community more than the game company itself and the designers themselves, and we're going to be entering that period for the next foreseeable future. We knew that this was going to be a slower year. They had full disclosure. They're like, this is a year of Legion. We knew MCP needed some love. In fact, that put it all together for me. I don't play MCP, but I did sit in that the Ministrav announcement there, and I went, oh, I got it, right? Like major erratas, lots of models, etc. If you look at the Legion a release schedule for next year, very, very heavy. A lot of them's reprints and things. So it all made sense, like why, this is not our time to shine. So what does that mean? That means the communities need to step up. That means locally, we need to keep the energy going as invested players and people who, I go to tournaments, but I go to tournaments actually because I want to see Todd and Aubrey, and I want to see Omnis, and I want to see Daimyo Matt, and I want to see Accuser. Like I want to hang out with the people that just in the past year I've learned to appreciate and enjoy. And so let's bring that energy to our local communities, right? Let's keep that going. Certain things like I love the idea of a excuse me, a faction trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that was at Nova. Wasn't that at Nova?
Yep.
I think yeah. Matt
We did
at
something similar with like just awards for factions at LVO as well. But yeah, it is definitely a good idea. I mean, especially if you're going to have those larger conventions that are getting 24 plus people, where you're going to have all of the factions represented, and there is I think that's definitely a good idea, is to give like a little bit extra, like not just here's the trophy for winning, but having something else to strive for sure.
Yeah, and so I don't see why we couldn't do that in a smaller scale either. At a 10, 12 person tournament, you can still put it out there. Hey, we're going to do faction awards, and just make it up as you go. We have a really strong terrain building scene. I feel like I always post pictures of our terrain, and people will go, "Whoa, what is up with that? Is a cool setup. It's not just your boxy stuff." People spend time and build a fiery molten arena, right? Or in my case, I built a whole Imperial base setup, like with a hanging TIE fighter and stuff, right? And so one of the ideas that we've been throwing around is, let's do a terrain contest. Like let's pinpoint a tournament 2 months down the road or something and go, hey guys, bring your best terrain, and then we'll just have little voting cards on the side or something, and then best terrain could win a paint pack or something, just to really mix it up, but keep the community energized, keep it going. And it's going to be on us to be able to sort of take those reins and push it forward, I feel. And so that's my little spiel.
No, I like that. No, definitely. I mean, and there's one thing, like, I know, I know you haven't played Legion or MCP much, but like for LVO, there's a thing called the LVOIS system, which basically is like a system where you can have either automatic qualifier or points events at your local store that leads to the invitational at LVO. We are now doing that for Shatterpoint as well. That is on the lvois.com website. And I mean, I'll probably link it in the thing here. But you can go in there and like you can apply for for your event to be an event, and then like determining whether it's going to be a qualifier or a just a points event. But then we're just going to do 32, but the top 32 players between automatic qualifiers and points are going to get invited to the invitational. Minus probably take like 6 people, not like leave like 20, 30, 26 or something like that, so that we can have like a last chance qualifier on site to fill out those last types of things for people that might not qualify. But that's, I think, a good way to help build a community, kind of like what you were saying, where as a community we might need to take more of a active role. And I think this would be a good way to do it across North America, is like having players be able to like your store, like let's say maybe you get one GT, but you want to do something a little bit more prestigious for your other convention, the non-FLG one. You could maybe have one of these event, like one of those, be like an LVO type of invitational type of event or something like that, to qualify that. And that's kind of one of the things that we were hoping was to help the community as a whole within like the area. I mean, I'm sure they could do it in like outside of the U.S. if they wanted to, but I don't know how many people outside of the U.S. and outside of North America are actually coming to LVO.
I mean, it is Vegas, so it's a good reason to come.
It
but is. I would say, again, and people have said this prior to me, but if you get a chance to go to a major convention like an LVO, like hopefully a Rocky Mountain Open, but take that chance, because you just meet so many cool people, and it energizes you back, and you bring that energy back to your local community. You really do. And then people are just like, oh, cool, where'd you get that fun colored dice? And you're like, yeah, brown's my favorite color. No, I'm just kidding.
You're in the right game.
Red. We all want the red.
Yes, which only I think there's 9 in that pack, so it's like, man, that's those are going to be rough to hand
Here's
out.
Here's your die.
Yep. Yeah, so no, I mean, I get it. I mean, I think it's going to be a lot I think there's a lot that we as a community in general can do to start building it. I know you kind of talked about doing some more learn to plays. I know. Yeah. Do you get support from like your stores to do like learn to play events or anything like that?
Absolutely.
That's cool, because like we have like Gamers Guild, and like they're a huge store. I mean, they're like there's nothing like you could probably take like 5 stores and throw it together, and that's about the size of this store. It's just gigantic. Jeez. But they do like a monthly learn to play where like different people within the community will show up for like a couple hours and teach people how to play the game, like with their particular game. So like every couple of months I'll do Shatterpoint, and then like the MCP people will be there, and like every game system like that has like between cards or tabletop, like there's people there just all day long just doing learn to play type of stuff. So which is really cool because like the store helps you and they advertise it as a learn to play event. I don't know if like that's something like I don't know if many stores are able like have the bandwidth to do stuff like that, but it's like it's a nice that there's, at least for us in Arizona, that we have that. And it's like it would be cool to see other stores kind of take that step to help build their communities a little bit more too.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. I think that's again, going back to sort of the lifeblood of your community is bringing new people in. I know there's been talk about trying to bring Legion people in. I think it's actually probably a little more of the reverse at the moment because Legion's getting a lot of love. But that being said, it's a good way to, I think Diz said that at one time. He's like, I'm just going to I'm going to start playing Legion. and then I'm gonna infiltrate them, right. Bring them over to Shatterpoint. And you're like, okay, cool. Maybe that's a good idea.
Build an entire army, paint an entire army, show up. Like this is like the Cold War sleeper agents. They like show up in the 50s to do something in 1983. Like, come on, exactly. Diz. What? Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to put in 67 hours worth of work just before I show up just to be able to, anyway.
I love it.
Yeah, but I think it's got it. We got to keep things going, and we're doing that here in Denver, and I love it. I'm a huge proponent. I try to do, whenever I see a new player come into the scene, I'm constantly like, hey, let's get a game. Like I want to get a game with you. I've got to work on my teaching chops a little more. There was a recent game that was being played by two newer players, and I just happened to be in the store and was like, hey, do you have any questions? Can I help you work through some stuff? And they're like, yeah, I've played a couple of games. He hasn't played. This is his first one. And then I started to talk about Strained and the Russian nesting doll that Strained is, and I was like, oh, you're playing Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan's the best example of Strained ever! And I started deep diving in, and I could just see him glossing over, and he was like, wait, which condition are we talking about? And I was like, oh, right. Don't worry about it, man. Just take 3 damage, and you're fine.
It's like, it had like that what was it, the Back to the Future moment. You don't understand this right now, but your kids are gonna love it. Like that's kind of like
yeah. You'll get it later. Don't worry.
Yeah. That's one of those things that's hard with teaching. You have to do it incrementally. I haven't seen it more than since I started doing martial arts, because now that I'm reached a point where I'm good enough that I know what newer people are doing wrong, that I will see my teacher. He will correct one thing, and I'm watching, and I'm like, there's like 5 things that kid just did that were wrong, but he corrects one thing, and then he walks away, and I was like, oh yeah, that you have to do really baby steps.
See, I love that. Hey, so a question for you guys. Do you have any kind of like learn to play regiment that you go through, or is there a flow chart that you have? Because I saw one, before you answer, I saw one that was like, I stack the order deck before the game, and then each one I know exactly what it is, and I can just explain a different part of the game mechanics to that person. And I went, wow, I didn't even really think of that, but cool.
Yeah, no, like I think we mentioned that on like we did a pod just talking about learn to plays after like the last major learn to play that I did, and I like the stacking the deck is definitely like one of the things that I do. Is like I have almost a scripted start where it's like, okay, these are going to be the first 3 turns, and like you're going to move up, like you're going to get, I think like the first activation is always going to be is always going to be Rex. Well, Rex can move up, and then he does this, and he gets this point, and then okay, the next activation is Kalani on the other side, who moves everybody up, and then you're able to sit there and attack Rex on the midline, and then he actually is able to sit there and because he's either going to or not going to get his the thing that allows the droids to move and shoot. He is going to get that ability. So it's like I have a whole scripted start for like the first 4 to 6 activations,
Very cool.
and stack the deck accordingly. And then it's like that's just the teaches. It's like I'm going back and forth, and I'll walk and go okay, and I already know what I'm going to say to them. I already know what they're going to be doing, so it's like I don't have to worry about. And then it'll naturally bring questions up for them to answer. But I know Aubrey also has like lots of little print to play tools that he's made too, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So if you get a chance, and I know there's a lot of them out there, but there's actually an initiation kit. If you can just find pictures of it online, where they set up the game with only 3 objectives, just the 3 midline objectives, like on shifting priorities. That's where the objectives are. And I usually, what I do is I skip the first, because there's 3 missions in there. I skip the first mission and I go to the second mission. I have the priority role objective up immediately, because then they get to learn the because 2 of the 3 struggles you play are probably going to have priority objectives, so you want to get them used to the bonus point bouncing around. But you can do this just by grab one of the struggle cards that has the across line on it, and just use that if you don't have the objectives. And then Bogler gave me this idea: play on a smaller footprint. Like, don't set up a full table of terrain. Just set up enough terrain with 3 objectives, and then they don't have to get overwhelmed. Like, I know when you're doing like a big learn to play event, you want all of the buildings so that it looks cool and it looks awesome. But like, so I mean, yes, maybe you can set up more, but just focus on the midline. Just focus on the middle, and then maybe have the other objectives out so that they know that the possibility is there, that there could be more. And then I only play a lot of times, unless I've like set this up in advance with somebody who like wants to learn the full game. If I'm just doing the casual, like people are showing up and just checking out the game, I will only play with 1 squad. Just 1 squad, 4 cards, a Shatterpoint in the 3, and you just run through the order deck faster. You set up fewer force, and then that way they don't get overwhelmed by like sheer number of mechanics. Like you're just because you're not focused on an outcome. You're just focused on the learning part. And so I mean, those are my tips and tricks. If you've got some show-stoppy thing in your collection, like I have an AT-AT, if I know I'm doing a learn to play event, I have one of those Kenner ones, I'll set it on the side of the table just so that people will show up. Like have a sign or something that like with like community information or a QR code, or because you'll get the people who are like, ooh, I want to try this for like 3 turns, and then I'm gonna walk away. And so that's something to keep in mind. You'll get the diehards who are like, I came here to learn this game. I'm here for 3 hours. Let's go. But you also get the more casual people, and that's okay.
Yeah. And those are the ones that drive revenue on this game, to be honest. Those are the ones who are buying the boxes for Christmas and the kitchen table players, so
absolutely.
Yeah, getting them engaged is important.
Definitely. And like I said, I know there's an article by Spiky Bits that has at least one of the mission cards from the initiation kit. So like even if you just wanted to use that, and it kind of gives like the general idea where you're only using like 1 squad per person. That's a good way to do it. I know like sometimes if Aubrey and I are both at a learn to play, we'll probably have like 2 tables set up. So it's like there's a table for like a full game, and then like you can have your initiation, or you can have like the initiation kit style with only the 3 objectives open. So like if you have like a fast paced one, and then like if there's some like like some of other players are like, you know what, I really like this and want to play more. It's like, okay, well, here's another table over here set up and you can play like a full game, and like that way they have the opportunity to continue to dive into the game if they want to and stuff like that too. So you're still able to do like quick teaching games while still having the opportunity for people to get like a little more immersed in it.
I know one other thing. The other thing is if you're gonna be there like for half a day or all day, bring a buddy. Is way easier. It like, so what Todd and I would do, and I also did this at not Comic-Con, Phoenix Fan Fusion. I'm like, what's the actual name of that thing? Because we can't call it Comic-Con. The San Diego will come find me. At Phoenix Fan Fusion, it was myself and Eli, and so like we would be playing a full game. Like it would be like with core set models or like very like easy Empire Rebel, like Luke versus Vader or whatever. We would be playing a full game, just us, and then people would walk up, ask us about it, and then you'd just be like, well, do you want to play a turn? Like just a turn. Like that's all. Yeah. I'm gonna walk you through the whole turn.
Just a taste. First taste is free. Yeah, and so like that. Basically, it kind of learn to play comes in a few flavors, and you got to kind of mix and match to taste.
Yeah, I love that. That's all really good advice. We got to compile this together into some, teaching document that we can give to the broader community, and like a Google Doc that, hey, here are links to ideas. Maybe I'll look at trying to put something like that together because I'm a document nerd.
I have been writing. Articles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
all right. Challenge accepted.
I don't have to do it.
Challenge
Excellent.
accepted, Mike. All right. That does sound like something I would enjoy.
It would be fantastic to have a document out there that's people who are wanting to build their local communities. We could, as a community service, we could provide it to them, just as an idea.
Just like work. That, the Mike Aubrey collab has been born for the Learn to Play. There you go.
I love it. I have a question for you, though. I do have a question for you guys because there's one thing that I struggle with as a TO. Painting competitions. Okay, I tell my locals they're my least favorite part of the tournament because everybody is so good at painting. I'm like, how do you choose? This turns into like I don't understand. Yeah, that's it. It's so hard. It's so hard for me because I literally am like, oh, they're so good.
So if you have a hard time choosing, the best way to do it then is do a community vote. Yeah. Every person there goes and votes for someone that's not their own.
Yep.
And that's the way you do it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's the best way. Like most of at LVO, at Smite Club Open, the two mains that I like, the two big ones that I usually am at, I usually have a third party that's a better painter than me that's not involved with like the running of the TO itself come over and actually do the judging, like during lunch break or something like that. So like Tyson does it for Shatterpoint, but he's like, he's a former Golden Demon winner, so it's like he knows what he's doing when it comes to painting type of a thing. So I'll leave that to him. And then like there's Matt Baugh from Smite Club. He's actually like the head TO for 40K at Adepticon. So like, and he goes and helps like Adepticon with like a lot of their painting stuff that they do. So he has a lot of experience in like the mechanics of painting. So like he usually does the Smite Club voting and stuff like that. So it's like that's where like if like something like that, especially when there's like bigger prizes I guess involved, I let that happen. But if it's just like a local event, I'm usually just like, hey, just do community voting and stuff like that. I think whereas last May the 4th, they gave out these little like 3D print, not 3D printed, but they were like laser cut acrylic things that were supposed to be like Beskar, and they gave out to everybody at that in the event as part of entry, and then between the second and third round or something along those lines, you went and put your Beskar on whoever you thought had the best painted.
I love it.
And then whoever had the most Beskar at the end of voting won the tournament. So that was really cool that it was like there was a like a little I'm gonna pay you to be because you're the best, you earned my money type of a thing. So I thought that was really cool.
I love that. Yeah, that is very cool. Yeah, it's so torturous to try to figure out because I love them all. I love them all.
Right.
We had
Yeah,
some.
that's
We had a local do a Night Sister. So part of the Death Marion box, the Night Sister, and it was the one with I mean, they both have bows, but she was like hanging upside down off of a tree, and it was like the whole setup. She had this whole basically small little diorama for all of them, and like the Night Sister is hanging off of a tree, the other one is in a bush, and it was incredible. It was so cool. Those are like clearly like there was a lot of work that went into that. That was just creative and super fun. Yeah, I can't tell, Aubrey, if you're stuck and frozen.
I know, right? As easy. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, did Aubrey freeze? Because it's just he hasn't moved and his mouth is just gaping open. So
No, that sounds so freaking cool. Wait,
cool.
Mike, forget our podcast for a minute. You got a picture of this somewhere? You got to send that to me because.
Oh yeah, I will definitely. Send that
I mean,
to
not
you.
right now. I'm just saying. You got to like that. That sounds awesome.
do it now, Mike.
So Mike, here's another thing to take a page out of real world stuff. If you're also having trouble, try, like, this is just me thinking off the cuff because you're like, I like them all. Try ranked voting. Give everybody 3, 2, 1, like, and then it should even out.
Yeah, so you don't
like,
end up with ties. Yeah.
Right. Well, it sounds like you're struggling with. They're all great. So maybe if you do like a 3, a 2, and a 1,
I mean,
like
struggle. I
system.
just mean it's an internal it's torturous. I love them all. I just want to give you all first prizes.
And just giving you
Break
options.
the paint box out. Here's your fluorescent yellow. Here's your fluorescent green. Here's your blue. I don't know. You each get one pot of paint.
Right.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, painted. Yeah.
Here's more paint. Keep going.
Right.
Keep going.
That's awesome.
Very
All right.
much
Well,
so.
Mike, I think we're getting close to closing out here. I mean, did you have any other last minute like shout outs you wanted to do or any like questions or stuff like that you like wanted to talk about before we close out here?
I don't think so. Just shout out to my Colorado team and community. You guys are awesome. Love hanging out and making pew pew noises, as I said earlier. And honestly, we just have, if you guys, this is the other thing that's funny about Denver. Whenever I talk to people who aren't from Denver, they're always like, oh, I have family in Denver. Or I go there like regularly for work. I'm like, reach out, I'm Mountain Mike on Discord. Reach out. Let me know you're in town. I've got a closet full of models. We'll get you a game, give you a little reprieve from the in-laws or from the work schedule. You can come out to one of our good community events, and we'll get a game in. We'll have some fun, and hopefully, if all goes well, if AMG, if you're listening, FLG, if you're listening, let's get that GT going for Denver. And I know we can get a good number of people here to support.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I know that you can run a great event, so I have all the faith that you can sit there and put together something fantastic. So here's fingers crossed that it works out in your favor. Definitely hope that it does for sure. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and close out. And basically just by saying to all of our listeners, as always, thanks for listening. We appreciate you guys. You can always continue the conversation Mike and Aubrey and I were having on our Discord. Or if you want to support us, you can definitely become a patron like Mike is and help us do the things that we do, like go into Adepticon and LVO and doing the things that we do. And we definitely appreciate any support you guys can give us. We are always here to try and support back as much as we can too. So you definitely want to be there for everyone. But other than that, as always, thanks again for listening, and may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
We have friends everywhere.